Hey guys, Shadow here today, and welcome to another Sims build video. Now today we are going to be doing modern apartment slash restaurant, as you can see in the corner. So, now I just kind of had the idea to do kind of like an apartment building, but once I started building, I started thinking, I was like, oh, I'm gonna throw in a restaurant. So it ended up having a restaurant on the basement and first floor, and the second and third floor are the apartments. Now I did kind of an interesting little thing where I dropped the front of it into the basement but removed the floor, so you can physically see the front of the building and the windows inside of it, but it's obviously the basement, so it's kind of a cool little vibe that I made. I was pretty impressed with myself. Now, I actually spent about 4 hours building this over the course of 2 days. Now, it's kind of ridiculous how much time I put into this. And one depressing thing that I can say, I ended up losing the save. Literally, as I was finishing the build, I was going to save each individual little room inside the apartments. And it crashed my game. Therefore, I lost almost all of the build. So the pictures at the end, they're iffy. Like, the building itself was finished, but the decorating on the inside was not. And a lot of the outside was not finished. Like the whole right side of the building, all the plants on that side, they are not in the final pictures because of that. So anybody who is looking forward to that, the pictures will be at the end of the video, which should be maybe estimated about 26 and a half minutes, 26 minutes, 30 seconds, whatever. I will be linking a little thing up at the top of the screen right now for you to be able to see that kind of thing. So, yeah, that's just kind of depressing. So, yeah, I don't know if, like, I recently applied the Get to Work, I think it's the Get to Work or something, not Get to Work, Dine Out DLC, that's what it is. I actually applied that DLC recently, or installed it, whatever you want to call it, and it seemed to glitch at a lot of the things in my game. I'm not entirely sure why, but yeah, so I feel like that might have had something to do with it. But anyway, so that really, really sucks. I can no longer, like, unless I go back and literally spend another 2 extra hours finishing this build again, then I will not have that kind of stuff. So that sucks. So I have random topics, or not really random, some of them are specific, but I have topics wrote down for this video because I thought it would help me out with trying to fill the time. Now, I do need to finish on time because I've already got audio and whatnot in this video, so whenever the pictures start, then I'll finish the video or whatever. But I did toy around with a lot of ideas, like throwing mirrors on the front and whatnot, because I did copy some of this. I wouldn't say some of this. A lot of the design of this building came from a picture I found on Google. I searched, I think it was small apartment or something like that. Small apartment building, I think, and it was like one of the first few pictures. Now it almost kind of has this like modern New York style build to it because of the like lamp posts and stuff in the front, but it also has like a totally different feel from it because of the fact that it's so modern. Like New York wouldn't be that modern. New York kind of looks very old school, very beautiful, but it is very old school. So I wanted the whole place to be able to have a way to walk around it, so I ended up having a little pathway around the side. Now in the end, I actually threw in these little fountains, these little kind of pondish areas, really for decoration. I really like how that looks. It gives you kind of a beach feel without being at the beach, which is one thing that I really like about this build. I feel like it could be like on shorefront, honestly, like on a shorefront, like some kind of property out there. Now, one thing I did notice that I don't know if you guys will notice or not, unless you're looking at the pictures right about now. But, well, you can't listen to both things at once. But anyway, so the mailbox, I guess that was just randomly placed whenever I placed a sim on this lot. I don't know what that was about, but it's whatever. It was just kind of thrown randomly at the front. So Now, I did a lot of decorating in these little ponds. I kind of wish we had some kind of koi pond that we could make. That'd be kind of a neat little thing to mess around with, maybe in like Sims 5 or something. Throwing like fish into these little ponds and stuff that you can make. That would be cool. I would like that. Maxis or EA or whoever, if you're watching this, that should be a thing. You guys should help us out with that. Creators would love that. Ha ha ha. So now there was a lot of plant decoration that I did in this video. Like a lot, maybe like an hour's worth of this video is literally me decorating with plants. Now the only reason I did that is because it just adds a more lively feel to the area. Like the this corner right here that I'm working on currently, it's so freaking flourished. It looks overgrown, but in a good way. It looks so beautiful. And I also threw in these little pre-lit trees. I don't know what pack they're from. They're probably from like Dine Out or something like that. But they're very beautiful. And honestly, I wanted it to look overgrown. That way it didn't look like you could possibly walk back there, because there's no way you should be able to walk back there with all this stuff. No way. So, yeah. And I also threw in some of those uncut bushes and shrubs and stuff, because it just gives it that overgrown look, but it's not too overgrown because you got all these flowers and stuff by the side. Now, my original idea with this see-through fence right here was to kind of have like a patio right back here and kind of have it curve back over and have like a grill and a place to eat and stuff. But that didn't really work out, so I just kind of left it alone. One of the reasons it didn't work out is right there. Like, I could not find a good way to curve the paths. If you guys know how to curve paths in The Sims 4, please, for the love of God, let me know. It would help me out a lot, honestly, because I've been having a lot of trouble with curving paths. So if you know how to do that, thank you in advance. But just please leave me some kind of tips in the comments about that. Now, if you guys have any suggestions for builds that I should do, leave them in the comments. Leave them in the comments, and I will always do any builds that you guys suggest. For the record, President, I know you're watching. You watch almost every video, and I'm actually surprised. I was actually working on this video whenever I replied to your comment earlier about how much Sims 4 was, or Sims in general. And still, my suggestion stands. If you guys ever want to purchase any Sims games, my suggestion is to either wait for a sale on Origin, because Origin is where you can get these games, or go to the website g2a.com. I will leave a link in the description so you guys can go straight to it. But usually they have some pretty good sales going on. I think the whole thing is, it's like gamers who have purchased games but do not want the game anymore, or they find these games on deals or something. They resell them for a lot cheaper. Like, straight up, whenever I got GTA 5, at the time it was still like a $55, $60 game on Steam. And I went and purchased it on G2A for about, I think it was like $39, $38, something like that. So I got a pretty dang good deal. And my little kitty's over here. She's trying to bug me. But you guys should definitely go check that out if you want to get a good deal on some games. Now, I actually purchase there from all the time, so it's kind of cool. Now, back onto what I was saying. Now, I just kind of like the modern feel of this building. It's kind of got like a modern, kind of like almost classic feel to it. But at the same time, it almost feels like a hotel, which is kind of more or less what I was trying to go for. Now, I did want some kind of like shade for those windows over there, so I ended up using a couple of those glass shades, and then also used that shade there on those. Now, there was a lot of pillars that I used in this because there needed to be edging on the side of the building to kind of match up with what I was going for. And I just kind of used the pillars as an edging, so yeah. Now, maybe there probably isn't as much light as you would want in the back, but more or less the natural light coming from the ponds are pretty nice. So I kind of left it as it was. Now I did a lot of these juts out of the side because I honestly, like, I didn't want the building to be too flat on one side. It just didn't look natural. Emma, you gotta stop that. So yeah, and I used a lot of these kind of these little roof methods because it just kind of gave a better feel for the roundness of it. And since you can't make rounded walls or anything, I at least used the porch to use these, or to make these little rounded roofs, and I thought it turned out pretty darn good. So yeah, I also did that kind of to make like a different roof type from the main roof. And it also makes it look like these were extensions at some point, even though the building was built, with these on it. But it's still pretty cool. Now, with the windows on this wall, I really didn't know where to go with it. So I messed around with a lot of different windows, trying to figure out what was going on, what I liked, what I didn't like, what felt right, what didn't feel right, and just kind of went with what looked best. Now for the restaurant, the reason that I used those half windows like that, or they almost look like bathroom windows or something, only reason I used those is because the fact that they just kind of, I don't know, I originally wanted to build restrooms there, but I ended up building the restrooms on the basement floor. I really don't know why, but I just kind of did. So I also made these kind of little fake balconies, as you saw me build just right there. The reason I call them fake is because I used a window to kind of show them off, but not really. I didn't place a door to go out there. No, it's more just kind of decoration, kind of continuing the look of the building. As you can see, I did right there. Just kind of on both floors, I made that little thing. And I believe the game jumped right there. I don't know if that was meant to happen. I don't really remember. Oh, I think I had to stop and do something else or something. I don't remember. So I continued back on the basement floor and I started decorating. Now I do finish the look of the building a little bit later. But warning, in about 2 minutes there is a huge jump. I think I was trying to figure out some settings whenever I was messing around with the decorations in the bathrooms. And if you can still hear the pitter-pat of my cat's feet, because she's wanting out right now, but I can't get up. So, yeah. So, I was messing around with the settings in the bathroom and trying to put in a cheat code. I think it was move objects or something like that, but I forgot to turn the recording back on. So, there's a big jump from where I'm working on the bathrooms to where I've finished the whole basement floor and almost all of the first floor. So that's kind of embarrassing, but it is something that happened and I can't really do anything about it now. The only thing that I could do about it is if I went back and literally remade the whole building, re-recorded everything. And that's 2 hours out of my day that I really don't have to do. So we just have to kind of work with what we have. So I do apologize for that happening. I really wish it wouldn't have happened. But getting the lighting right in this restroom was almost impossible. It was trying to just figure out what worked and what didn't work and what not. But I do really like how both the guys and the girls' restroom turned out. They look very beautiful. Even though we don't really have any kind of two-tile stalls or anything, we are able to make our own with the lower half wall like that. And I do kind of I kind of do like how it looks. We can't really make raised restroom doors or anything like a real one would have, but it's still pretty darn good. So, yeah. Now, let's see. What's next on my talk about list? Literally, it's, quote, talk about. My question for the day, who's your favorite YouTuber? I'm not asking anybody to say that I'm your favorite YouTuber. If I am, that's cool. But mine is actually at the moment Sim Supply or Flabaliki. So James Turner is my favorite at the moment. Literally, I watch him quite a few times a day. I usually watch his video, his upload on Sim Supply and Flabaliki. Usually I watch both of them in the same day. And as you can see, that jump right there, it went straight from the basement to the first floor. Now you can kind of see how good the restaurant was actually turning out. So you can at least see me finish off the chef's cooking area. So, yeah, I don't know. I just kind of like I've been kind of having like a Sims binge recently. So watching Sim Supply has kind of been feeding that. It's been feeding my creativity on these videos as well. So you can thank Flabaliki or Sim Supply or James Turner, whoever you want to think. It's the same guy. It's same guy. So just thank him for that kind of thing. Why I didn't finish the top floor. Okay, I haven't gotten to that, but I did not finish the top floor. My original idea was I was going to do one of the apartments of the 2 apartments that are in the building, because I noticed it literally took me over an hour to finish one floor, and that one floor is the equivalency of one house worth of decorating. Now, once I did that, I realized how long it was taking me. So I just thought, I was like, okay, I'll just kind of skip over this and tell you guys about it, and then it won't be such a big problem. But it is a big problem now because of the fact that I've said it too early and whatnot, but whatever. Emma, really, you're being a turd. I actually wrote down in my notes that there wasn't going to be screenshots, but I stand corrected on that now because there are screenshots. They're not what I wanted them to be, but they're there, and that's what makes me happy. Now, I'm thinking of doing Rags to Riches Part 2. If you guys haven't seen Part 1 already, please go watch it after this. It's totally up to you, but my suggestion is, like, if you're looking for more content, go watch that. So, yeah, I know I'm not talking a lot about the build that's going on, but that's kind of what I've been doing recently, is just like, I will make the build, you guys get the content to watch in the background, and you also get to listen to me talk about random subjects. And usually these subjects consist of my channel and what I'm doing and whatnot. I'm going to try to make it more like that. So yeah, just look forward to that kind of thing, I guess. I don't know. Emma, you're being a turd and being loud down there. Gosh, calm down. I need to get some kind of better sound set up in my room because I'm hearing more echoes and stuff. But whatever. So I want to do Part 2 of Rags to Riches, maybe in the next couple days or so. Now, the reason I want to do that is because, honestly, I just have I have a very fun time watching them. I have a fun time doing them. And I don't know about you guys, but I would hope you guys kind of like watching them. I don't know, it's just a cool little idea, a little thing that you can do in the game. So that's what I like about it. I'm going to bring Emma up in my lap because she wants to be up here, I think. She's like making me pet her all the time. Come here, girl. Emma, you're a turd. Hey, you can actually hear her purr. Wow. Why do you smell like crap? Wow. Okay, well, at least you're cute. Gosh. I'm assuming you probably need to go to the restroom then. I don't know. Whatever. So, back onto the build. Now, I actually... this was oddly enough, this little restroom right here is the whole cause of the whole, like, losing the build thing. Because I went to... Like, you know how you can click on the room and then you can choose to save either the whole building, the entire lot, or the... room, the individual room you're clicking on. So I clicked on that room, went to save the restroom as small modern restroom, and oddly enough, that restroom is still in my game. Like, I'm still able to use it. So if I wanted to rebuild this, at least I would have the restrooms covered, or just like 1 or 2 restrooms. It's kind of individual to this apartment, but still. Now, that's just the weirdest thing. Because that was the whole thing. I was just trying to save that restroom, that individual restroom, and it crashed my whole game, which in turn led to me losing the save. So I lost the whole building and everything. So that sucks. I mean, I hate that, but it is what it is, I guess. Now, honestly, this kitchen, I put probably 20 or so minutes into building this restroom alone. Because, or not restroom, this kitchen. And honestly, I love how it turned out. It just looks so darn beautiful. I love it. Now, it's not very bright. The colors are kind of dull, but it's just the feel of it is amazing. I love it. Now, I did use a little tactic that one of the YouTubers that I've been watching quite a bit recently, he actually uses these lights kind of in conjunction together. He kind of clusters them together in multiple colors, and it makes it kind of look like it was meant to be built like that. So what I did is I threw together a couple colors, I think gray, white, brown, and black, and it looks like it's supposed to be made like that. So I like how that looks. I don't know how you guys like it or not, but anyway. So one thing that I was trying to do was trying to get all the floor colors and whatnot to try and get them to match up and not like mix together too badly in a weird way. And also the wall colors, I was trying to get like more darks in some areas that needed more dark, and lighter colors in areas that didn't need so much dark. So I don't know, that's just, maybe it's kind of a tip, maybe it is, it's, you know, it's whatever you guys want it to be. So yeah, I don't know, I kind of wish I really might actually go back and finish this building in some spare time. And if I do, maybe I'll do another video covering it. Maybe there'll be a part 2 of this or something. A surprise episode. So, yeah, I don't know. I used a lot of plants in this apartment, honestly, because, like, I just like the idea of having plants in apartments. It just gives it kind of that greenish natural color to it, as it should. So I played around a lot with those pictures. I just kind of couldn't figure out which ones worked where and what. I don't know. So here I start working on the little, like, it's not a kitchenette area. It's a little, just a little dining area, I guess you want to call it. Although you could eat at the bar. There are 3 seats for people to eat at the bar. And as I was saying, I used kind of darks over here. But I don't know. I just kind of like how that turned out. So I did kind of, I spent a lot of time on the little living room right here because there was just, I don't know, maybe I didn't spend so much time on it, but it seemed like I did. But I was trying to get kind of this really cool vibe for it. It's kind of got this old school table, but futuristic technology stuff. And I messed around a lot with the little decoration here on the wall, just trying to find out what looked cool. So I ended up mixing together some pictures and kind of made that little up thing. I don't know. I don't know. I thought it looked pretty cool. I don't know if it does or not. Now I kind of started using some of these little awards things to make kind of a little area up there above the balcony area. Now I kind of made both of the balconies for both apartments look identical. But I also have this little front balcony to work with, so that's why I wasn't worried about that one so much, because of how small it is. Now, I didn't make both of these identical. One of them is a little bit different, but the reason I did that is just because I wanted a little area for them to go outside and hang out, whether it be for just reading a book, eating food, hanging out with friends, or what not. But I threw it together because I thought it would be nice. Now I just have a single seat on the first floor. On the second floor there is a double seat. Now I didn't want them to be identical, so I don't know, I just kind of threw it together real fast. And I also threw in a waste bin out there as well, because I thought that would be pretty nice to have. Personally, I think it would be pretty cool. So yeah, I don't know. It's kind of like those are the personal trash bins, and they come around like maybe like once a week and empty it out. Now, I don't know if you noticed this, but the little thing that I used on the outside of the building to kind of decorate the side of the building, it actually sticks up through the first floor. So I used that kind of as like a little desk nook thing, and then there's a mirror on the other side of it. So at this point, I started coloring the living room and everything else. And I also put stone on the balconies out there. Now, I just kind of wanted everything to fit together as well as I could. So, yeah. Let's see. Need to scroll in because I'm coming up on the end of the video. I don't want to screw this up. So now that I think about it, I could have actually extended the restroom out just a tad bit, because that little odd corner, I cut that off because I wasn't sure how that would look, and it was getting in the way of the kitchen. But it also made me think that there was a little area that I could have used for the bathroom just now. So that's a thing that I missed. So that kind of sucks. So I don't know. At this point, I was throwing in pictures everywhere, finishing off everything that I could. Now I think I ended up using a aquarium right here because I wanted some kind of thing to walk to, like, block your complete path, or not your entire path, just like whenever you walk through the front door, there's something that you got to go around to kind of draw your attention in. So I used the aquarium and this little end table, or not end table, but like hallway table, like runner table, whatever you want to call it, I don't know. But I used that just to kind of add a little bit more flair to the build. Now at this point I started working in the backyard because I was going to skip the top apartment. Now I wanted to do like a little garden area here, but I wanted it to look modern. So what I did is kind of like halfway enclosed the little garden area, and threw in those little like half pillar things, or not half pillar, but half walls. It's the lowest possible wall, and kind of like ran it across multiple times, and it looks kind of modern whenever you look at it. The shadow also looks kind of cool whenever it was all done with. And I also threw in that little dance floor up on the top floor as well, to just kind of give it glass, so like if it's raining you can be under there and be safe. Now I did rearrange the little pathway in the inside to make it a little more, just a little bit better. So we're running up on the end of the video here. So I hope you guys have liked this. If you did, please leave a like, leave any suggestions, and I hope I see you guys in the next video. So please enjoy the images here, and I hope I'll see you in the next one. Bye.